Watch. Where's the crew? Hey,
Sorry, I missed you guys this week. Okay. Some stuff coming up.
just living a crazy life. Like everyone always is. But you're here now, so that's the important thing.
Can I ask you a quick question?
Yes.
Okay, so. This weekend
Yes.
for Melissa and okay, so it's her property.
Uh-huh.
Do I need, like usually like when you like outside signs, like you have a written agreement? Do I need this for her?
No, because technically she has it and then you're acting in her behalf.
Gotcha.
So yeah, in the listing agreement that you get signed, it like basically gives you as the listing agent permission to do whatever marketing you see fit, including hiring other people to do stuff.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I'm excited.
Yes.
It's like 600 something because she added in like a basement feature, like an addition, yeah.
Yes. I know a lot of agents will just try to snag up any open house, which is probably good right at the beginning. But then after you get going, you should like pick the open houses.
What do you look for? Like the price point or?
I like the sellable houses.
Right.
But here's the weird thing about open houses is a lot of people will come to an open house because of the signs, you know?
Okay,
So they don't really know the price. They don't know what it looks like inside. They haven't seen pictures. So it's kind of the location, but even that's hit and miss because if you're like right on a main road,
yeah,
like yeah, you can have all the signage and stuff, but are people gonna stop there? If you're like buried in the neighborhood, it's a little harder to get to, but that seems more desirable. So I can never decide like what
where do you
actually works.
know, like figuring out like where I'm gonna get the signs too?
Yeah. John. Okay, we need at least one more person. One more person.
Sorry I didn't make it last night.
That's okay. He didn't miss out on much. Well, there's 5 people that came and
That's nice.
yeah, so it was good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna text you back. I missed your call and then I got distracted.
Like you was you big jerk. You're
I was gonna send you a mean emoji.
in angry face.
Yes.
With a tear.
Okay, so we need one more person for our script off.
I can be 2 people. I'll split person.
Wait, I need a marker.
Okay. Or
So we're waiting.
That's my test.
this is like break-in session because we're gonna try to like script like hard situations. You're gonna be like, what? Okay, I do so like I mean, we into the users like.
Yeah. I'll give you $5 if you can stand up. Okay, screw you for not wanting my house. I don't think Cameron.
Is there a curse? We can't.
All right, should we just get started? Let people roll in as they do. I feel like we're on this schedule where we always start 5 minutes late. And it drives me nuts, but I can't fix it because I am part of the problem. So thanks for being here on time, everybody. All right. Give me some good things that happened this week. What was a win? Something you learned? Yes, John.
Um, Yesterday I was prospecting on the phone. And I talked to some friends of mine that I hadn't spoken to in forever, and it was the wife's birthday. So I called specifically her. I was really nervous because I thought, well, go any calls. And she was really happy to hear my voice and everything, and got caught up on stuff and wished her happy birthday. And she is retiring in December, and they likely will put their house on the market so they can move out of state. And so she asked me to do and she didn't ask, I offered to do, I says, hey, because it's your birthday, I'll do a free comparative market analysis for you and let you know what your house is worth and blah, blah, blah. And all that. And she got real excited, and so I'm going to put her on the 6 to 12 month, lead list.
Sweet.
Uh-huh.
I love the game plan of call people on their birthday. That's such an easy,
It's an easy,
So pick up for sure.
they'll
right?
pick up.
yeah,
It makes sense why you're calling them.
plus.
You can get into a conversation or you can just say, I'm just calling to say happy birthday.
Yeah,
Hope you have a great day.
yeah, and I did that, and I.
So easy.
And I apologized for, not keeping in touch. And luckily, she's one of those kinds of people that she speaks her mind. And she says, hey, John, the phone works both ways. I'm just as, I could call you, but.
There's your new script. You don't apologize. You call them out. You say, hey, I want to be better friends with you, but you stopped calling me. You won't reach out to me.
Turn the tables.
Yes, well, that's great. Love it.
So, and I'm embarrassed to ask this, but, one more time, can you help me do a CMA, and I will take notes this time?
Yes, today,
Okay,
1 o'clock.
1 o'clock, you got,
Who else?
it's a nice house.
A win, a lesson learned. Someone that you helped or you're helping them.
Is it Becca Summers? She posted
Yes.
the 2%. So I made an Instagram blast and somebody hit 200, which was good.
Awesome.
I reached out to, so these are all friends of friends, but my neighbor, Jeff, her cousin is desperately been looking for a place to live. But she can't afford anything. And she's got stars in her eyes about anything that has the 2 point, whatever. Because there are people selling occasionally. There was one on her street that she couldn't afford the down payment.
Mhm.
This house was less. It's just that it was too far because she's a flight attendant.
Mm.
But they wanted me to keep in touch and let them know. So it's a good. And she don't even know if she's a buyer to somebody else, so that's. But we're just keeping the contact open. And I gave a bunch of business grades to your people. So,
That is awesome. Okay, last chance. Anyone else?
well, that's like one of the marks.
Ooh,
And no, it's a tough situation though, because her mom passed away, so
Mm.
her dad is still alive, and he lived with him because he is just going through some stuff. But he still has a house, so they need to sell it. And then they all want to buy it together. So I just checked in with her, and like, she was like, yeah, I'm gonna definitely like think of you like right away. when you're ready." But I don't want to like pressure them too much because of the situation, but like, I'm gonna check in with them probably like once every couple of weeks and just see what they're up to.
love it. Okay, let's give some advice. How could she check in? What are these calls? What could she say? What could she add of value in this situation? What would you all do?
Because I'm also dealing with my and they're trying to, but they have to wait for probate and whatever.
there's no 11 siblings, and they do want to sell it. But I'm actually having to like some
Same thing.
Yeah.
I feel like I've heard this.
I think maybe you could just be like, what you could do is maybe just do, well, what I'm gonna probably do is like, do a lunch or something, like treat them and just be like, hey, I just wanted to check in with you, see how you're feeling. You can, if you need, like, cause sometimes I think people just wanna not think about it, but then if you take them to a situation where like. They're enjoying themselves, they might bring it up, and then you can be like, okay, well, I'm still here, like, and I can still do this, and. Do you need a vent, like, you can just listen to them talk about anything. I know it's hard, but I think. Like the relationship building thing. So,
I just think the biggest thing is just to keep them at the tip of the tongue.
Yeah.
Because with 11 siblings, everybody knows somebody that's a wheelchair as well.
Yeah.
So just to be like really present.
people refer to things, too.
Wish, yeah.
Yeah, the other thing is you could start to do some things to add value, like do a CMA. And just, yeah, send it, be like, hey, I know this is gonna be part of the process. You might not be ready quite yet, but I figured I'd just send you some comps so you have an idea about what the house is worth.
I've done that.
Yeah, good.
Like I gave too much information instead of like.
Sometimes that's good, sometimes that's bad. Sometimes people will look at that and be like, oh, look at how helpful she was. And then choose you because you were like that. And other times they're like, sucker, look at all this information I got. Let's go do whatever we want. So it could go all over the place. Okay, well, we have continued our busyness. I think we've got 2 more under contracts this week. A listing went live for an agent and none of them are here. That is not a correlation, by the way. Keep coming to these. Welcome to the team. Kay Allen, you need to introduce yourself because you're brand new. Tell us about you.
Just passed the test this week, so still on my license yet. Since the last few years. We play, family, filters and been interested in this stuff.
Love it. Okay, well, welcome. Welcome. Okay. Tomorrow we have Cody Felberg coming to do Ignite for negotiating offers. If you haven't gone to one of Cody's classes and specifically this negotiation one, you definitely need to come. He's got a way of talking to people and just working things out that it seems like he always wins, but you're happy about it. So, this one should be awesome. And then next week, we do not have Ignite. Because there is family reunion, which we'll talk about more in a second. So don't plan Monday, Wednesday, Friday coming at all. You can still come to the office. You should prospect that time because you just gain an hour and a half, 2 hours of your time. We still do have Scott Leroy marketing going on. So let's see, today is the 13th. So we have Nurture Your Database. So if you want to learn how to do campaigns, that will be at 11. So right after this. What can Scott Leroy marketing do for you? Kind of see an overview of what they do. That's probably Monday. Which by the way is President's Day, but the office is still open. So if you wanted to come in on Monday, it will probably be pretty quiet because most of us will be either gone to or leaving to family reunion. Then on the 20th, which is Thursday, so a week from today, we're going to do Nurture Your Database with print marketing and then DocuSign 101 on the 21st.
What's that?
It stands for Scott Leroy Marketing. They're just a company we hired. They help us with like command setup and trainings and things like that. So they'll actually make flyers and things like that for you. So if you're like, I have an open house, but I don't want to design my own flyer, you can just request them to do it and let's build you out one. So they do a bunch of cool stuff like that. So and they have tons and tons of education.
Where is that?
Those are all on Zoom. Yep. Yeah. Okay, family reunion. So every year in February, around President's Day, Keller Williams does the family reunion, which is a 3-day, maybe it's 4 now, conference. It happens to be in Vegas this year. I have no idea where it's gonna be next year. They usually announce it at family reunion or shortly after. And there's a lot of awesome trainings that they do. So the way that family reunion works is they call them breakouts. So it's like classes. You pick your classes of what you want to go to. There's a handful of things that everyone do together. For example, like the vision speech with Gary Keller in a giant room. It is very awesome. Now there's also another conference in August that is Mega Camp. It's usually in Austin. This year it's actually in San Antonio because the Austin Convention Center is getting remodeled. Anyway, that is like everyone in the same room for the whole time, and they bring panels of people up and Gary interviews them. So a little bit different format, still awesome. But so with family reunion, we have paid to have it streamed. Now we only have one link to stream it, so we're streaming it in a big conference room. So on February 18th, this is Tuesday, rather than doing team meeting, we are going to do the vision speech with Gary Keller. So this is where he goes over the market nationwide and talks about what he thinks is going to happen and what you should be doing about it. So that starts 9:15-ish in this room
Is
or
that
in
our
that room. Yep, our time. Yeah.
time?
Yeah, so I plan on coming at 9:15. It might not start right away, but there will be a live stream right at that time. And then they're streaming what they think are gonna be the best breakout classes on Tuesday and Wednesday. So elevate your real estate brand with Rory Vaden will be at 2:30. If you don't know him, he runs a bunch of social media for like big name people, like Ed Milet. He does his social media and branding. So if you want to do anything online, especially social media and those type of things, he is going to be like your North Star on exactly how to do it. So that is the 18th. That's so Tuesday at 2:30. Yep, and that's going to be streamed just as well. Then we have Critical Conversations with Phil Jones. He wrote the book Exactly What to Say, and then he has another one, Exactly What to Say in Real Estate. And so he has a way with words. I have a man crush on him. Like if you can listen to him and talk to him, you definitely need to, because you'll get it. When you hear him, you'll get it. You'll be like, oh yeah, that's why Cameron likes him. And he's British, so he just sounds better. He's talking. Yeah. So 4:15 again in the large training room. So I would almost plan like Tuesday, just hang out. These are going to be the best things. I don't know if they're bringing in lunch or not. But definitely plan on that for Tuesday. Then on Wednesday, they're going to do 10 bold truths with Gary Keller. So at 9:30, a large training room again. And then Gary Keller is running a mega agent panel. So he's bringing 4 or 5 of the top agents in Keller Williams to just interview them. Those are some of the most valuable things, because they'll just kind of like, he'll ask them a question and they'll start answering. He'll pause and stop them and be like, wait, dive deeper on that. Tell me more about that. Exactly what are you doing in that? So that is an awesome thing. And then 20 lead generation hacks and tactics with Jason Abrams and Cody Gibson. These are two of my favorite people to watch at family reunion. They are very entertaining. They are very well spoken, and they have both built big businesses and then have had someone take over those businesses to run things at Keller Williams International. So you kind of got 2 full days of training. So be comfy, hang out in there basically all day, Tuesday and Wednesday. Questions about that? Don't miss this. I don't know if they're going to be recorded. I don't know if we're going to be able to watch them again. So definitely come to these things. Okay, Spencer Hughes and Jake Butler from Aries Mortgage are putting on the budget workshop. If you feel like you want help with your budget, come to this. February 28th. I think is that a Friday? Thursday? I don't know. 11 AM till 12:30 Friday. So, RSVP if you want to do this. It should be great and we could probably all use help with money. I like Shoney's pictures there next to Dave Ramsey. Basically the same person right there. Okay, our upcoming training. So 1 o'clock today in the Gary Keller room, we are going to do CMA and pricing homes,
Yay.
just for John. Yeah, I had to change that one since you mentioned you wanted to do that
Oh,
today.
and I'm
Yeah.
taking notes this time.
Yeah.
You know me with me.
Yeah.
So
The last time we did this, we valued John's home. So if you guys come, we'll value one of yours.
Okay.
Or someone that you know. Then next week for our team meeting, I will not be here. I will be still in Vegas, hopefully winning money and learning a lot. That's probably more important. Making good connections, all of that. So we are gonna have Jake from Aries Mortgage come in and talk everything mortgages. He's got a whole bunch of information prepared and bring all of your questions. So he's gonna talk about different types of mortgages, when you would use them, just getting to know him and stuff like that. So 9:30. And then Brittany's gonna do agreements and next steps. So when you get a client, what do you do? And then the week after that, we're gonna talk family reunion takeaway. So take good notes because I'm going to ask you all what you got out of the sessions that were recorded here. And then I'm gonna share mine as well. And then we're gonna talk sending and showing houses.
Things-
Yes.
When Cameron comes back and he starts getting on the phone, she's really gonna start prospecting. You lost money in Vegas. You
I don't know. It depends if we average money. Last year I made money.
oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm up like $200 from last year. And so then if I lose $200 this year, then I'm break even.
Team meeting's always a-
Usually, yeah. Yeah, I'd plan on here every Thursday at 9:30. Okay. We're gonna do a script challenge. Here's how it works. We're gonna bring both of you up. Whoever is going against each other, they get to sit in these chairs. I'm going to give an objection and kind of the background of the objection. You have 60 seconds to overcome this objection or start to overcome this objection. You can ask me questions and I will answer them. I'll have like a scenario in my mind. So if you ask me questions and then the next person asks me that same question, I should give similar answers. And then after you both go, we're gonna vote and whoever did it better gets to move on in our little bracket challenge. The winner, I will take them to lunch.
Or a family reunion.
Family reunion. Yeah, flight, hotel and ticket. Just a quick 3 Gs for the winner right here. No, we'll go to lunch, something awesome like Oteo. Have you guys ever been to Oteo? Ooh, okay, Oteo. And if one of you girls win, you get to bring a friend.
So the guys know?
No. No, maybe I get to pick the friend if one of the girls wins. We'll see. We'll see. It's always weird, like, I don't know why we just can't be friends because we're opposite sex, but that's how it works. So, okay. Here's how we're gonna do it. Okay. Are you guys ready for this? Hey Siri, give me a random number between 1 and 4. For you, Shay.
For me?
2, you're number 2.
Okay.
It's on the second seat. Okay. See how this works. Hey Siri, give me a random number between 1 and 4 that is not 2. 4. 4. All right, Kara, this is you. Hey Siri, give me a random number between 1 and 2. John and Shay, you two are up.
Okay.
So, a full.
Obviously, it's the way to go over either,
Look, you did it.
but it's to practice. Oh, Keep water with my water bottle.
This,
In the hot seat here.
this is my confidence pose.
John, when did you get your license?
October, November 3rd.
Shay,
October, 2024. What?
so you've had your license longer than John?
Mm-hmm.
I guess so.
Yeah, because remember, I got sick. I took it on the 3rd.
That wasn't really.
I
me.
got really sick.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's longer.
Yeah.
So you can go first.
I'm gonna go first, okay,
John gets to benefit from whatever you say.
okay.
Okay. That's a good one to start us off.
Okay.
So we're friends. And you're talking to me, I want to buy a house. And I tell you, I already have a different friend that's a real estate agent. Let me get my timer out. On mark, get set, go.
Hey, so I think what I can do is send you like a little market comparison for your home, get a price for you. If you end up going with your friend or just, why don't you meet with your friend and see if you like them? But I would just say like, I'm here to help you with these, okay, so have a meeting with your friend and you can decide like what you think. I'm not gonna pressure you. I'm in real estate. We've been friends for a while. So I just want you to know that I would love to be your agent, of course, but and I'll do those things for you and just, think about it. No, it's horrible. I'm done.
Okay, good job. Good job. All right, John, I already have a friend that's in real estate, that's planning.
Oh, Cameron, you are free to choose anyone who you think is going to be the best fit for you. However, before you make that decision, I want you to consider what I can bring to the table for you. Number one, I work with perhaps the largest real estate agency in the whole nation. There's 60,000 people of us in my organization, and we're all here to help you find the right house. I'm very well connected. Now, the other thing too is when you hire me, you're not just hiring me, but you're hiring a team of experts. I've got an excellent coach who knows a lot of the underlinings in a transaction. I've got a whole marketing team that will just be out there looking for the best deal for you. And I am confident that if you select me and you work with me and my team, we'll find you the right house.
Question for John. How do you transition that? That's all first, but then I have a question for you. I have like a voting thing here. Can we all be big people and not get offended?
Yeah.
Okay, who would like to vote for Shay?
Fine.
Who would like to vote for John?
I love Verdon too.
Okay, guys, how would you transition that into like an appointment or anything past that?
Into an appointment?
Yeah.
Oh, you mean like to get an appointment?
Yeah, so like, we said everything you.
Right.
said was great.
How do I transition
How do
that?
you move it? past,
Okay.
like,
So I would say, okay, so Cameron, at this point, I think, you have a decision to make, and I'd love to help you make that decision. You can, if you wish, you can talk to your friends and everything, and maybe compare and see who's going to be most beneficial for you. I would love to schedule an appointment so that we can discuss my strategies and the tools and the people that will be helping you find a home. What do you say we get together for lunch, House Friday at noon?
I was just curious about that.
Okay,
Okay.
Let's get feedback. Did they do well? Thank you.
I was,
You guys can say
I'm
it,
just
yeah.
warming up, so.
Okay, what did they do well?
I think that is very. That was-
Because especially when you're a new agent, that could be a selling point for you to create value, like if you don't have a lot of experience, like you have your back by Blair Williams, well, I think that's kind of with that.
Oh, so some stats. You made up some. Let me tell you the real things, because they're even better than what you said, so you're good to go.
Oh,
So we're actually the largest brokerage in the world.
Yeah.
By agent count, volume, and number of transactions. So however you measure it, we are the largest. And, now I'm gonna make up stats. I think we're 180,000 agents, something like that, so.
But in the US, isn't it like 60?
Um,
Okay.
Canada and the US was like 170,000. I don't know what it is anymore.
Okay.
So, but now we have like offices like in 60 different countries or something like that, so. Yeah. Shay, I like that you were non-pressure. Yeah, we all have friends in real estate, like, I can totally help out as well. I'd love to be here. I'm a support, I'm a resource, I'm whatever. Because let's be honest, if you had like a real estate agent that you were 100% using, and then just randomly a friend called you out of the blue and was like, oh, hey, I'm a real estate agent too. Do you think that person, that rando, could overcome that you already have a connection with someone? Maybe they've helped you in the past. Yeah, maybe, maybe not. Yeah. Okay, so now that we have some time, what are some thoughts? What else could have they said up here for a question like that? Did you like where they went with it?
I do think if you're in my house, to me, it didn't feel like as. Because you felt very really professional. It's a little more. And so when you set up the appointment, to me, it felt a little. Professional. And maybe that's how it is for salespeople. I probably would have just said, I have time on Friday. I think we just wanted to grab lunch. If not, that's okay. But it's.
You're,
I had another idea. I don't know if this is better, but I had another thought, a complete different direction. Saying something like, oh my goodness, I can't believe you only have one friend that's in real estate. Like almost calling the fact out that they are already making a decision on one person when they probably know a whole bunch. And so almost questioning their logic of thinking. You could ask questions about this. Oh,
Sorry.
Yeah.
I could say like, you could say like, hey, I know you're like already excited to go with this person, but like, have you like shopped around? Because it's good to get like different perspectives from,
Yep.
different agents than just like one person's opinion. 'Cause how do you know they're really good? They could be bad.
yeah,
And you don't know. And I like, oh, by the way, I don't know this person, so I'm gonna look their bad, but heard of their name.
yes,
I'm
Yeah.
kind of saying, interview them for them. and be
Yeah,
like,
that's-
"Yes, and so I think we should just like.
yeah.
Trouble with this.
Sounds like it's just me and you, right? Here's anything else. Yeah. Yeah, you could ask them questions, be like, oh, what made you decide to go with them? And you could come up from two different perspectives. One, like, is that really the right person or am I better? Or why are you choosing this person so I can learn and help future people? And then, yeah, worst case scenario, I'm the backup. If you're not happy with what you're doing, if they're not solving everything, like, I'm here for you. Sometimes I get you in weird situations. John literally just had that happen. His neighbor listed before he was licensed. Then the listing just expired. He had a listing appointment with them because he's their backup. And then they just took everything that John just said and just told their agent, and now that agent just relisted it.
Yeah.
So, sometimes it doesn't work, but, sometimes it does. So, okay, good job. All right. I gotta write this down now. Forget it. John, we found it. Karen Dallin. Kara, you have your license, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you've been licensed longer than.
That means I go first?
So you go first.
Okay.
Yeah, it's surprising me too. I figured you were gonna go.
It's also licensed in California.
So I
Oh, so technically you were, dang it. Disqualified. Okay. I'm a seller, we're friends. Oh, that's my house, and I tell you this. And then I tell you. I wanna try selling it myself. Before I list it with you. Or commit to an agent, that's what we're, commit to an agent, okay. Okay, so Kira, I'm gonna decide to sell it. On my own first, I'm gonna try that before I commit to an agent.
Okay, so can I ask questions?
Yes,
Do you know how much your house is worth, or do you have an idea?
Zillow tells me 500,000.
Okay, would you like me to do a CMA analysis on your home for free to see how we can compare? Yep, we can compare all of the homes within a mile to see what it is, and right now I know that homes are on the market. Well, homes are on the market in Utah County for about 49 days right now, and I think it's come down from Christmas, which was around 59. And in our neighborhood alone, the house up the street sold their interest rate at 2.7%, put it on the market. It was sold within 3 days with an agent, and the other house was sold within 7 days at 820, in which they actually thought that their house was worth $1 million, but they priced it at 820. So that price that they had originally was from Zillow, but it was priced appropriately and it went really fast. So I think that could help.
That minute is hard, right?
Add more.
That minute is hard,
Talk a little.
Well, that's true.
yes, okay. Alan, I'm gonna try selling it myself before I commit to an agent.
Can I ask what your motivations are for why you want to sell yourself?
Just thinking I'll make more money if I don't have to pay.
Honestly, that's fair. I mean, the commission check can seem a little hefty at times. Can I ask what things do you find important to get out of your home? Is it, do you want to get max selling price? Are you wanting to get good exposure? What are valuable to you?
Yeah, it's really like I need the most amount of money just to be able to afford that next place.
The next place.
Yeah.
A lot of the advantages of using an agent is that we do this all the time. We have experience in negotiating. We're able to have a lot of resources for marketing, be able to get your home to the most amount of people possible. And that advantage allows you to get really high or a good price on your home. We were able to do
I think
That's
I was
a-
going with it.
That's
Good.
Okay, look for Karen.
I do that. I vote for her too. Hers was better.
Insider.
They're open.
I think ours together would have made a really good,
Yeah.
because I would like to have gone there, and I also would have said I would like to do a free. Not that this counts towards my vote, but I wanted to do an open house for them.
Oh, everybody's doing it.
So, Kara, I really like that you asked some questions like, oh, what are you gonna price your home? I said off of Zillow, but the best backup question is, where did you get that number? Start to just like throw problems out. And then you alluded to that fact, like, oh, the neighbors were gonna list it $1 million, because that's what Zillow said, and they ended up selling for 820. Like, all of a sudden, I'm all worried, like, am I doing it right? Am I not gonna be able to get this, or am I gonna be way more like a call question? And then that, I feel like you start with a great line of questions, so it's like, how.
You know, I can, that's why, that's what I liked about the Allens, is I think, his questions were questions that kind of drew you out of, what's your reasoning behind doing it yourself as opposed to hiring a realtor? I like the questions.
Yeah, I like your questions too. I think the only thing is that, because, and something that I also need to work on is like having a little data to back up your stuff would be good, because that's what I thought Kira was like really good about.
Yeah.
And then but the questions, that's like, great. You just gotta figure out what they want so you can kind of understand like how you can help them.
Yeah,
Thanks for the feedback.
yes. So that's the, where did you guys think the vote? Where do you want to vote?
I voted for Deb.
I vote, why am I?
You have to vote. Pick a number between.
79, that's what it is. 79. This is a tough one. I think I'm gonna go down and just like start up the questions. I think you were, you got time to finish it.
Yeah, it's
She
okay.
was more eloquent. But
I go off on tangents though, and
Just provide-
This was a hard.
Yeah, really close.
it's all right. I don't want to go against John. I'm fine.
I don't want to go against John
It's
either.
good to go against John now.
Okay. So with this, what are some great other questions that you could ask?
I was just looking at it about Freeman House. What do you mean questions? Like.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
so,
let's talk questions before we.
okay, so
You know what? Question that I would ask and said, well, you won't go first. Okay, I would somehow bring in like, have you had an analysis made for how much, what are you going to net based on what you're thinking of selling your house for? And then show how, using a realtor could net you more money.
Yeah.
Think
Yeah.
of that sheet.
What were you gonna say, Shane?
I was thinking, because this is also an issue when you're just trying to do this on your own. How are you gonna market this? Because like, you don't have the MLS, you're gonna have to I mean, yes, you can use, KSL and all those things, but like MLS will be like accessible to other agents.
No. No, you have to have an agent. Yeah, there are like, Homey was the most popular
Yeah.
version of this, but there's a lot of different, agents that will say, list with me for $500, and all they do is put it on the MLS. And they do nothing else past that. They don't negotiate, they don't do pictures, they don't do any sort of help. If you want more help, you pay them more money, is their business model.
I didn't run into that and I helped her, so she really got free help, but she didn't pay me for it. But it was, yeah, she ended up getting a cash offer, but the thing is though, you do still have to pay the house, the people a little bit, and then when it shows representation, it shows like their name on the contract, which is kind of interesting because they're even there, but
Yeah. Yeah.
it's kind of strange.
What were you gonna say?
Try to explain the fact. Your fee estimate.
Mhm.
If you're wanting to get enough money out to be able to. Next home. Yes, like the.
Love the idea.
Would you like to see Laura?
Downtime is up.
Like.
Yes. So, before Shay has her inspiration, new construction, do you guys know what you do once you go under contract with the new construction? Yeah, wait, let's even back it up. So let's say you have a buyer that want to buy an edge home. Who writes the contract?
Develop.
The builder, Edge Homes, will write it for you. Yeah. And then during the whole build process, or if it's already built, you are just sitting on the sidelines doing nothing. And then at the end, you show up and you get 3%. It seems like you've basically done nothing. I have had multiple people tell me, I wish I would have used an agent by the end of the transaction. But when you talk about what an agent's going to do, it's like nothing. And it's because if something does go wrong, no one has their back. The agent that helped them write the offer, they work for Edge Homes or DR Horton or whoever, and they are representing the seller. They're not representing the buyers. And so they get zero representation. So that's bad. Okay, what was your inspiration?
I was gonna say, you could ask, do you have a buyer in mind already? Or do you know anyone that's interested in buying homes? And then say like, I'm gonna market it and all this stuff, and be like, well, I have some buyers on hand that might be interested in your home. I could bring them to you, but, well, I mean, that sounds a little shady, doesn't it? Like, you have to sign on. But I think like where I'm trying to go is like, I have other agents, like if you sign on with Keller Williams, like we have a really good family vibe and like we help each other out. We might be able to find you someone very quickly if you're in a hurry to sell.
Yes. Why do people want to sell their houses on their own?
I think you're gonna make more money.
Yeah, 9 times out of 10, it's financial. And we're from Utah, and so that's what we do, is you have to make the most money. You have to brag about how much money you saved and things. I'm not allowed to do things with my father unless we save money on whatever we do. Like the other day, we wanted to go to a hockey game, and he was like looking at tickets, and it's like nosebleed tickets, and we're like, it was my birthday, my brother-in-law's birthday, my sister's birthday, and then in a month it's my other sister's birthday. So we're like, for all of our birthdays, let's go to a hockey game. And he's like, yeah, let me go get some good tickets that are a good deal. And we ended up just buying tickets closer where we wanted to be and told him we got a good deal so that he would go to the game with us. So that's the Utah mentality with a lot of people. So it's financial. So a very simple thing is you can just ask to verify that it's financial. Like, oh, why are you looking to do this on your own? And most people will be like, honestly, it's the money. Like I was real blunt on my answer. Like, I don't want to pay you that much. But they'll probably say something like that, like, oh, I'm just looking to have the most amount of money for my next down payment or whatever. And then my simple question past that is like, I'd love to show you how I can actually make you more money by listing with me. Are you okay with that? And most people are like, I'd love to hear that. Then that just punts it down the road to your listing presentation because everything that you said here is great for a listing presentation. So sometimes the answer is let's meet and talk about this. And then other times it's let me overcome this objection. Because yeah, like we have this awesome Keller Williams family that's looking out for each other, trying to buy or help their buyer.
Can we go over like 3 things that we can do?
Yes. Yes.
I'm trying to think of like something.
So the way that people make the most amount of money is having the most number of buyers come through. Right? So imagine that your house is worth $500,000 and you know this, but you list your home for $400,000. If you put it on KSL, how many people see it? If you put a flyer on your door that says, I will sell this to the first person that offers me $400,000, how many people would see that? And so that's the extreme scenario of like, who walks up to the door? It's going to be some random sales guy that's like, oh, hey, I'll buy your house for that much. Assuming that they know the value. Now contrast that with putting it on the MLS, which then syndicates it out to every single website that has houses. So we're talking of millions and millions of websites that have homes for sale. So if you just want to put it in front of the most amount of people, then the MLS is the way to go. The next way to really make them the most amount of money is negotiations. So just little things like
we can help them with their negotiation,
Mhm.
like, when, discuss that. So they can understand like, oh, this is experience with negotiating where I might feel uncomfortable making another counter.
Yep. Yep. And just sometimes even putting things into perspective. So like $10,000, like how much would you love if you were selling your house and you could get $10,000 more? Like what would that do for you? Like that's a lot of money. Well, $10,000 for a buyer, what is that, like $6 a month? Something like that. It is like next to nothing. They would probably lose that much money in change and not even worry to pick it up. That kind of a concept. So $10,000 for a seller is a big deal. For a buyer with a loan, it's a small deal. And so can we put that into perspective and work with like the agent or just the buyers that come directly and communicate those kind of things? Because that might, $10,000 might be the difference of paying me or not. So little things like that. Negotiation, just getting the most people in front of it. And then, any other ideas? How do we make people more money? Feel like there's a third, but. The indirect thing is, this is like our jobs. Like this is what we do. We spend time and effort and energy to do this. They're just kind of like, let's do this. And now they just hired themselves a new job. Like coordinating showings and things like that, where we have systems. So it's like attorneys, for example, they are great at contracts and things like that. They could write it all up, like they can do all of that. But if they were to just think like, okay, well, take me maybe like 2 hours a week. Like, well, what are your billable hour? Like, are you 200, 500, $1,000 an hour? Like, how quickly is that gonna add up? Even if it's 2 or 3 hours a week, but it's probably like your stats are real, like almost 50 days plus the 30-day under contract. Like we're looking at 80 to 90 days, spend an hour a day, 90 hours. How much does that make you? It's 2 full weeks of work. That's probably a lot of money. So indirectly, it will save the money because they can just focus on their job and things like that. So
Errors. Like if they might not be respected, if they make an error with the bulky signs.
yes,
Keep up with it. So, I mean, that doesn't have to do with financials, but.
yeah,
it can.
but yeah, like
That's-
yeah. You know what happens if a buyer comes to a for sale by owner and the buyer doesn't have an agent and the for sale by owner doesn't have an agent? They lean on lender for everything. And how much do you want a lender to worry about like the contract and know that it's written up correctly and that a title company is chosen in the best of their interest? And then like, is the lender gonna just try to put some of that cost back into the loan and charge higher fees and things like that? So much more. All right. Dallin versus John. Let's do this.
Pull the gloves off.
Question for that. We're gonna get you guys a good one. Difficult question.
We could just call the results now.
You got a good one.
Why did you choose that tie, John? Because it's got little blue specks that come up.
This one just because I think it's good. It's just compliment.
We're gonna make you girls go against each other. We're doing it. Okay. From here, questions of boys. Okay. Oh, where's my phone? talking about meeting. I want my house. And I say, I don't want to get pre-approved yet. I'm okay meeting with you. But I'll talk to a lender when I'm the right. John, go.
That's an interesting concept, you know, because the fact of the matter is that when we go looking at homes, what's going to happen, Cameron, if we find that right home that you really like and you're ready to go, if we have to go backtracking and look for a lender and get qualified, that's gonna be time that's going to go by and someone else may snag that home before we do. My recommendation to you is that we get you pre-approved, we know what you qualify for, and you'll be ready to buy that home when you see it at the right time. I know it, Mike.
All right, Alan, I don't want to get pre-approved yet. I'll do that when I find the right.
Can I ask why?
I just feel like it's a lot of hoops to jump through if I never find what I'm looking for.
Gotcha. And so, when you delay getting pre-approved, oftentimes you have to have a contingency in your contract saying that, you know, for your loan. And often if it's competitive, that might make it so you can't get the house you want because other people are pre-approved and they're able to quicken that process. And so you are welcome to do what you see fit, but I would advise that you get pre-approved just to make that process move a little bit quicker. Is that something that would make sense to you, or do you still have reservations about that?
There's only 4 seconds left. That's a good answer for you. Good job, you two. That was awesome. All right, let's make a vote, and if it's tied,
You're gonna take us both out to lunch.
kidding.
No, say
John.
Siri.
Who votes for John?
Okay, you're
Oh, wait, you're taking it, John?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Hey, John, you're down. Why don't you do this?
I think like if both had good things to say, I think that it's just, you know, depending on, the situation, I don't know, it just, they both have good things to say, I just think that's why I brought down, like, John had good things to say. I was, you know,
If they need to put their pictures on a business card together.
Let's work together.
JD team.
They just show up at every listing of.
We'll just tag team everything we do.
John is like very comfortable speaking,
Thank you.
you know, on.
You're very confident.
And he's sure of himself too. Jeez.
Even
Thank
if
you.
it's last time.
Yeah. You know, but you know what, where what we forgot to mention, and I just realized it now. Neither one of us said sellers are not going to want to entertain unqualified buyers. I just thought about that, like, after we were done, I'm like, that would have been a good point.
That is true.
I'm having a hard time here deciding. Because John, I loved your description, your explanation, like everything just made sense. It made me feel like I should do it. And you didn't ask me why.
Mm.
So it could be right on point or be completely made up.
Yeah.
What's around it. Yeah. And your questions were great. And then you followed up with a little thing. Siri, will you randomly choose left or right? Do you use ChatGPT then? This is.
We'll take a couple selfies and say chat G. No,
Yeah,
Yay.
right, so you win by default.
by default.
Okay.
Good job.
Good
Thank
job.
you. You know,
Yeah, so-
because you had to use your phone, I'm gonna pick the most expensive meal.
I might not be able to make it that day. Okay, before we get the girls to do the consolation prize, why would someone not want to be pre-approved?
No.
Yes. Why else?
Cash wire.
Who they might be cash?
If you are worried.
They do like a soft pull originally, so it's not too bad. It probably brings it down a little bit, but not a whole lot. Yeah. Yeah, which is funny though, you know who worries about their credit? People with good credit.
Another thing is I might not be ready,
Yes.
you know, could just be just one of your brows and then ready to buy, so. And then it could waste your time.
Mm-hmm.
Once you do the reapproval, you're like on a slide and you're going, like it's one thing after another, so that's why I say not. You know, you're doing this.
This is real. Yeah. Yeah. Would you ever show someone homes that is not pre-approved?
If I was at a showing and I'm at a house,
Open houses?
yeah. Well, might depend on who they are. They're good friends of mine. Right? But I think it is important, like I would like to.
It's also hard to show.
Yes.
What kind of house?
Yep.
You don't wanna show them something, they fall in love with it, and they can't buy it, that's like,
Yeah.
that makes you look bad. And then they'll be upset.
Yep. Yeah, because when you get a pre-approval, then the biggest reason that I don't like showing houses before pre-approval is the big question always is credit. Credit Karma is like a decent way to keep track of things, but it's never accurate. So it could be completely wrong. So some people are like, oh yeah, Credit Karma, I have like an 800 credit score. It's like, well, that's made up, but you probably have good credit if that's what it's saying. So.
It's also-
So, Yep. Yep, and then the other big thing is just, what do you qualify for? Like, if you wanna go buy a $800,000 house and I show you the perfect $800,000 house. And then we find out that you're approved to 700. The houses from 700,000 to 800,000 are very different. They're gonna fall in love with the more expensive house every single time. Whenever anyone's approved, like if you're approved to 800 and you say, you know what, I wanna stay below budget, let's go see homes like 650 to 700. And then you're not quite finding what you want, and then you go see an $800,000 house, that looks like a mansion that is just been remodeled compared to what you've been seeing, because $100,000 is a lot. So, I always tell people things like, I don't want you to fall in love with something that you can't get. Like setting you up on a blind date with someone that's married, yes. I'm good, but I'm not that good. So yeah, that's my biggest thing is I don't want to show you houses unless we know that you can get it. My one caveat to this is if showing them houses gets them more committed. So if they're like, I don't know, we really should, but we shouldn't, it's like, you know what? Let's just go see this one house. And then we can kind of know what's out there a little bit, then we can go get pre-approved. That would be the only reason, is if it's like, I'm just scared to commit, if that's what I figure out. But to be honest, this is probably a smoke screen.
If you see a house, they'll get excited to.
Yes. Yep,
So just do a model.
yep. Send them to a model home, yeah. Now, you do need a buyer broker agreement either way. If you're gonna show them a house, you have to do that, so. If you want to represent them, you should. Yeah. Okay. Yes,
I was just looking, and the other reason that I see here is actually using a realtor will determine the right price to market that for the seller.
Mm.
As opposed to them doing it on their.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, girls, consolation prize. You can come to lunch too. Wait, who just won? John. Okay, I forgot who I was going to lunch with. You two need to talk and make a vote together. So, side of things. Okay, wait, when did you get your license?
Officially in January.
Okay.
She
Go
asked this
first.
question.
Okay.
So she wants to
Okay.
go first anyway.
All right.
Perfect, it worked out. So, we're seeing houses. Signed by a broker agreement. We walk through a house. And I say, this house is so nice, but I want to just keep looking just in case something better comes up. And
Okay, oh, I'm so glad that you like this home. It is beautiful, and I've actually shown it to many people today, so if there's lots of interest with this property, if you really are interested in it, I would definitely, think again about waiting. Also comparing the price point, considering I know that the market is very similar, for the price point in this area, I think that it would be a good decision to, of course, go look, but just know that this house is gonna go quickly and we're getting lots of bids on it already, if there are bids. Um,
you.
Okay. yeah, there's been bids, there's many people, that are showing interest, so I would just definitely say, I know that the price point in this area is really comparable, so I think it's a great deal, and I think that you would be wasting your time if you didn't get it today, or get it soon.
Yeah, this house is so nice, but I want to just keep looking just in case something better comes.
Okay, that is your choice. First, I want you to think about what would happen if somebody that slept on it last night decided they wanted it today and made an over asking offer. Because in this particular neighborhood, it is separate from all the others in Utah County where we have houses on the market for about 2 months. This particular neighborhood is a hot spot where everything is going off the market within 6 days. And so now that this house has been on the market for 5 days, I'm concerned that you're going to lose this house. Would you rather go see houses today so that you can make a proper decision within a smaller time?
Yeah. Yeah, maybe that's a good idea. Let's go see some more.
Okay.
Okay. You two. Give each other. Have your J corporation. Realty. Internal. Ethically, and let's give a vote. For Shay. Oh,
Ouch,
you're
don't
okay,
make-
right?
I like both. I really did like both. They both. But, when you mentioned about like, this is a hotspot neighborhood. And, sure, we can go look at other places, but, this house it's gonna be getting a lot of exposure. That kind of put the pressure on Cameron. I thought that was kind of a neat thing, because it does. Cause now Cameron, from what you said, Cameron's gonna think, oh crap, what if I do miss this house, Maybe, you kind of gave a sense of urgency and you kind of pass that on to Cameron, that urgency, you put it on his lap. I thought that was pretty cool. Yeah, I mean,
Case theory. We randomly choose the left or right.
Oh, God. I was gonna say, I like how you said, look at the houses today.
Right.
Yeah,
You're my.
I think Kara, yeah.
Okay,
Point.
good work. Couple of things with this one. What happens if you make an offer on a house let's do it like a real scenario. You make an offer on this house that you walk through for yourself. You're buying your own house. You make an offer and it gets accepted, you go under contract, and then the next day you see something in the same neighborhood that's recently redone, bigger yard, same price. Can you go see that house?
Yes, you can go see that house because prior to due diligence, I mean, you do have a period where you can back out of the initial offer. For the other house you can really like.
Could you, let's do another scenario. Two houses, same neighborhood, very similar price, completely different layouts. You could see yourself liking either of them. Can you make two offers at the exact same time
As a buyer.
as a buyer?
Allowed to pull out, like, as a buyer, but you would serve as-
You can cancel before the due diligence period for any reason.
So it's only before diligence.
Yep. Yeah, you can cancel before the financing deadline for any financial reasons. Dean would say, his example, which is goofy, he says, I would not pay that monthly payment that I was just given from my lender for a house that has spiders. That's his example of a financial cancellation. I would not use that as a reason to cancel financially, but I think Dean has found a loophole. But that sounds very due diligence-y to me. So, okay, so you can cancel for any reason. So if scenario number one, you put an offer in on a house, they accept it, then something better comes along. And you go see that house and you like it better, as long as it's within your due diligence period, which is typically about 2 weeks. By the way, I typically do about 2 weeks. You can cancel and go to the other house.
You can make two offers.
Can you make two offers at the same time? You go see two houses, same day, you're like, I could see myself living in either one of those. Should we just make an offer on both of them to see if we can get one of them? Can you do that? Is it no?
I feel like it's very-
I feel like this is a real estate test question, right? You read it and you're like, oh, this sounds right and it sounds wrong all at the same time. Yes, yes.
Before the due diligence, and yeah.
You can make as many offers as you want all at the same time,
That is an agent,
potentially.
yeah.
I would not make it a practice to do that.
But technically,
Yes,
If it's between two homes and like maybe there's one is getting more competitive, you can try both.
yeah. Or maybe they're classic Utah and they need to get a deal. And they're like, both of these are listed at 800. Can we offer 750 and see what they say? It's like, yeah, let's throw out two offers. Who cares? So you can make two offers all at the same time. Now, what happens if both of them then accept? You have to cancel one of them. If one of them accepts and your clients are happy, you can just withdraw the other offer. All you do is reply to the email that you sent with the offer and say, sorry, we're actually withdrawing this offer. And that's completely fine. By the way, the sellers can do something very similar to that too. You are officially under contract when the buyers and sellers have signed to accept a contract and it is communicated to the other party. So you could have like the seller sign it, and then before it gets sent over, they get another offer and they could just say, oh, just kidding. Or like you could send an offer in, they send you a counter offer back as the buyers. So like you're the buyers, you send an offer in, they send you a counter offer. And then the sellers could come back and be like, we rescind our counter offer. We got another offer. That happens all the time too. So if you say this house is nice, but I want to see more houses on the market with some of this more knowledge, what are some of the other ideas that you have? What else could you say?
I think I would say. Really do like it. You can make an offer and you keep looking. But if, and you can always. Just to see what you can you know, to make sure that you don't miss out on this opportunity, because other people might be interested.
Yep.
And keep looking.
Yeah, my thinking here, I like analogies a lot. This is an easy one for this. It's like, imagine that you're at a store buying clothes and you pull the last shirt off of a rack. There's none others like it. It's the only one. There's a whole bunch of other shirts in the store, but you grab this one and you go to the dressing store and you try it on. And you're like, I like this. I'm gonna buy it. Do you just buy it? Do you need to keep like holding on and waiting and looking at everything else? Like, yeah, like you can't. You have that time. So like if this house were that shirt and you tried it on, is this the like, well, I'm gonna stop looking, this is the shirt for me? Or is it the, I'm gonna hold on to this and browse the other racks? Or is this the, I need to buy it so no one else does, and then I can decide if I'm gonna return it or not as I go into some other stores? And all of those are okay scenarios in real estate. But it seems a little simple with the shirt. Another thing that you can do is you can say, okay, let's rank this house. How does it compare to everything else we've seen on a scale of 1 to 10? But you're not allowed to choose 7. On a scale of 1 to 10, you can't use 7. Because if it's a 7, it's like, that's pretty good.
In the middle.
And that's also not that bad. But like a 6, you're like, I would never buy a 6. An 8, you're like, oh, you know what? This is actually really good. It checks all of the boxes. It's fairly good. So, okay, what other things that you could say? Any other thoughts? Okay, so from here, besides me taking you two to lunch at some point, what you should do is practice some of these things. You should have answers or a couple of answers to all of these. You can go and find like frameworks to overcome objections. One of my favorite is feel, felt, found. So feel, felt, found.
Okay.
So it's like, I totally get how you feel about this. Others have felt this same way, and what they have found is whatever. So it's not you telling them like, just make an offer because it doesn't matter. It's like, I totally get how you feel. Like there's a lot of houses. How do you know if you're making the right decision? I help a lot of buyers that have felt this exact same way. What they found is if this is the best house, we can make an offer and then just see how it feels to us and if it feels right. And we can even see a couple other houses. Making an offer is more like reserving the home than actually buying it. It's like when you go to the car dealership and they're like, take the car home. That same kind of concept. Probably not a good analogy because then they'll relate you with a car dealership. So feel, felt, found. I get how you're feeling, or I understand your feelings. Others have felt the same way, and what they found is. So you can find frameworks like that to answer some of these. You can have very defined questions that you ask. Almost every one of these objections, you could be like, tell me more about that. You know, like even this one. I don't know if this is the right house. I want to keep looking. Tell me more. Why do you feel that way? And the elder is going to open up and tell you even more. And you can start to get a lot more information to better answer and overcome the objection. So there's 2 ways that I want you to move forward. Maybe both, maybe just one of them. So for sure, find someone that you can practice some of these things with. You should probably spend like 5 to 10 minutes just answering questions. It could be someone else in this room, a whole nother agent. It could be a spouse, a friend, ChatGPT. And then I want you to start writing out things that you hear, or the other way is to go to ChatGPT and say, make me a list of objections, which is exactly where I got this list. And then I just tweaked it a little bit for some of these that I wanted to change. So you can just say, hey, ChatGPT, I'm a real estate agent and I want to get better at overcoming objections in this part of the transaction. So I broke it down into a whole bunch of different, like before the appointment, during the appointment, showing houses, listing the house, under contract, things like that. And so you just pick one, give it back and forth. Write down whatever you like. And then you can even ask ChatGPT, hey, give me 5 different ways that you would solve this problem. Give me a way that you would overcome this objection by asking questions. Those kind of things.
We're here at JD Realty.
You know what? You guys were great until you couldn't vote on the same person. There was like, yeah. Yes. Okay, so figure out when you would meet, when you're gonna do that, who you're meeting with, and then have a list of these. Some of it's gonna be practice to make sure you sound comfortable and natural. Make it sound like you, so you might, John might have a script that he says that you can't say because it doesn't sound like you. So make it you. We'll go practice and we'll do this again. And so you guys can win again.
Okay.
Make it you.